Everyone loves going on vacation, but sometimes planning it can be a task and a half. It seems like travel agents know all of the ins and outs of getting you where you want to go, but they also know a lot of things they won't share with you. We'll explore some of the biggest secrets that travel agents don't want you to know before you book your next big trip. Sign up for the latest from the Hub by hitting the subscribe button before we begin our journey. Consolidator. The first step in planning a trip is usually booking your plane ticket, but it can be hard to know where to start. What website do you use to search for the best price? When is the ideal time to buy a ticket? Using a travel agent might save you some search time, but you probably could have found a lower fare on your own. Your agent likely purchased your ticket from a consolidator who purchased the tickets directly from the airline at a lower price than most published fares. They then sell the tickets to the travel agent or consumers at a markup. If you're buying from an agent and not a consolidator directly, you're essentially paying 2 markups instead of 1. In addition, you're likely ineligible for any sort of frequent flyer miles or credit card points if you purchase one of these tickets. Depending on your credit card, you could end up with a better deal after points and credits if you purchase the ticket entirely on your own. This will mean less commission for your travel agent, but could mean big savings for you. Shopping smart. Let's say you do decide to buy your own tickets. Where do you start? It turns out there is a best day of the week to do your airfare shopping, and that's Wednesday. Smaller airlines tend to set their prices first, and then larger airlines follow suit and tend to be the ones that raise them even higher. This bidding generally starts on Friday, followed by prices raising on Saturday. Over the weekend, airline companies tend to duke it out by raising and lowering their prices, and Wednesday is when the dust settles. Specifically, 1 a.m. on Wednesday, because midnight is when the airlines reload their computer systems for the latest low-cost fares. You can also save a few bucks by searching for 2 one-way tickets instead of round trip. Sometimes by flying 2 different airlines, you can get the best possible price for the trip yourself. There are even websites such as Kayak and Skyscanner that will automatically do that for you. But be careful if you're buying multiple tickets on the same flight. Some websites show group tickets at a higher rate, so try searching for them individually. Cruises. Your travel agent might promote a cruise as a stress-free way to relax and take in many scenic destinations. But they leave out the part about cruises being really bad for the environment. If you consider yourself an eco-savvy traveler, you definitely don't want to book passage on one of those luxury ships. While you're enjoying the all-you-can-eat buffet, bilge water is collecting underneath the ship. This noxious substance is filled with oil and other hazardous chemicals, and there have been many cases of ships not disposing of it properly. Not to mention the chemicals flying out of the smokestacks. These include sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides, which you may recognize as the primary components of acid rain. Having all of those people on board the ship generates an average of 21,000 gallons of sewage per day. That doesn't include the 170,000 gallons of gray water, which is water that's tainted with detergent, oil, grease, and more that comes from your sink, showers, and laundry machines. There are complicated laws about where this can all be dumped, but international water complicates things, and all that sewage can end up in the ocean completely untreated. Markups. Sure, we know that travel agents have to make money, and it's only fair that they get a commission for their services. But some travel agents admit that they make it a game to see how much they can get away with when marking things up. One agent confessed that his office had a contest to see who could sell a ticket worth $89 for the most money. One poor client ended up paying $265 for that ticket after the agent assured him that the flight was nearly packed, and this was his last chance to get on it. If you have an emergency and you need to get somewhere fast, agents know that this is their chance to get the big bucks. Flying for a sudden funeral? If your travel agent finds out, they'll jack up the price because they know you're rushed, desperate, and not thinking clearly. Travel agents make about 25% commission off your trip, while online booking websites like Expedia make closer to 5% commission. With that huge difference in margins, it's easy to see how you can save a ton of money just by booking things yourself. Travel insurance. If travel agents tell you that your ticket is non-refundable, that's probably not true. They tell you that in order to protect their commission, but it's really unlikely that they couldn't get you out of a vacation without having to pay some relatively minor fees. Travel agents admit to coming up with outrageous cancellation fees to make sure that you go on your trip, or at least pay for it so they get their cut. Think you might cancel? Investing in travel insurance might be a good idea, but be careful. Agents get paid 40% commission on travel insurance, so you'd better believe they're eager to sell it to you. It's a huge part of their income, and it might not cover you in case of an emergency, so make sure to go over the contract with a fine-tooth comb. It's also possible to ask for a discount on travel insurance if you do find a good plan and want to purchase it. One agent claims that asking for less than a 20% discount on your travel insurance means that you're getting taken advantage of. Loyalty. When it comes to airlines and hotels, some offer loyalty programs that reward you for utilizing their services often. Travel agents, however, don't work that way. If they know you're going to book with them because you do so frequently, they know they can get away with overcharging you for things. Just like how you shop around for everything else, it's always a good idea to shop around when it comes to travel agents. If one got you a good deal one time, that doesn't necessarily mean they can or will do so again. Agents will often lure you in with cheap prices just to get you to contact them. If you've ever seen a holiday deal that seems too good to be true, it probably is. It can involve traveling at inconvenient times, obscenely long layovers, and subpar hotel conditions. But it got you to click on the ad, which means that now they can sell you a much more expensive and profitable package. You might think that going with a seasoned agent would get you a better deal, but many agents suggest going with someone inexperienced. Travel agencies have a high turnover rate, and experienced staff are more comfortable jacking up prices and are confident enough to pull it off. A newer employee will be more likely to be honest and get you a better price. Tours. Besides travel insurance, a huge part of the agent's commission comes from selling you tours and day trips. It's almost always cheaper for you to book them yourself once you arrive at your destination, rather than paying the agent to do so. Having every little detail planned out in advance can seem like a good thing, but this allows for little flexibility. It means you may end up paying a huge amount for excursions you don't end up going on for whatever reason. By paying the tour operator directly, you know you are getting the best possible deal instead of going through the middleman who wants to collect their fee. You might also encounter an agent who asks you to make large payments up front, or all of a sudden wants you to pay off your balance. They might blame it on the hotel, airlines, or tour operators, but usually it's because they need their commission check for some reason, or they're trying to make their monthly sales goals and are just a little bit short. Pricing. You might think that if you examine the details carefully, a travel agent can't pull one over on you, but you might be surprised. If an agent is looking at 2 airlines and one offers a higher commission, that's the one they'll try to sell you on, even if it has worse reviews and a more inconvenient itinerary. Travel agents are often able to reserve seats with certain airlines for a few days, which in theory is good because they can lock in a price while you decide if that's what you want to book. The downside is that they can put holes on the cheapest seats under fake names and make it seem like your only option is a more expensive seat. Even if the travel agent shows you the same screen they're looking at, you should know that their booking software allows them to raise and lower prices at will. This allows them to input discounts, but it also gives them the option of artificially inflating the prices to get you to pay more for your trip. Your agent will ask you for your budget to know how much money you're looking to spend to estimate what they can get out of you. Even if you don't give them a number, by asking about your previous vacations or offering an assumed budget and gauging a response, they can generally figure it out. Professional. Most people assume that since travel agents book so many trips, they must have resources available to them that the average person doesn't. Sure, they're given access to booking engines for some suppliers, but ultimately you're limited to suppliers that the agency has a relationship with. For example, some low-cost carriers such as AirAsia make such a small profit on seats that they don't pay commission to agents. That means no travel agent is going to recommend those airlines to you because there's no profit in it for them, even if it would mean saving you a bunch of money. Although travel agents like to travel as much as anyone, and they have experience planning trips, they mainly use the same information sources you do. Namely, they just Google it. If you know how to use TripAdvisor, Wikipedia, and Google, you can look things up just like professional travel agents do. Many agents will claim that they've been to wherever you're looking to book, but more often than not, they're just making that up and are giving you information based on other trips they've booked and not ones they've personally taken themselves. Specifics. By now you might be wondering, who on earth is still using travel agents? According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2000 there were about 124,000 freelance travel agents in the United States, and in 2014 there were only 64,250. So clearly their numbers are decreasing, but they still do exist. For a certain type of travel, agents do offer a decent value. Basically, if you're the sort of person who has more money than time to spend on a trip, a travel agent makes sense. If you're booking high-end activities and accommodations, especially for large groups, a travel agent can really help you out. Putting together these trips can be complex as they have a lot of variables to consider, and sometimes it's worth the extra cash not to have to worry about it. Some people underestimate just how time-consuming planning a trip can be, and to some people it isn't worth the hassle. If you're planning a simple trip on your own, you can save a ton of money by doing your own research and making your own reservations. Where is your dream vacation? Do you think you could plan it yourself, or would you rather hire a travel agent? Let us know in the comments section, and be sure to like and subscribe for more content from the Hub. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.